This episode of the Savage Snowflake podcast is brought to you by Boundless Technology. Boundless Technology strives to advance in the cannabis industry by creating innovative products with portability and stealth in mind. Aiming to deliver an affordable, efficient and straightforward experience for the consumer, Boundless offers an alternative to the traditional joint or water pipe. Enjoy the taste, smells and effects of cannabis at lower vaporization temperatures with Boundless Technology products. Use coupon code SAVAGE for 10% off all Boundless Technology products at bndlstech.com. Follow Boundless on all social media at bndlstech. And if you want to show your support for the podcast, head to patreon.com/Savage Snowflake to donate as little as $1 a month. All right, savages, let's get to it. Savage. What's going on, savages? Welcome to another episode of the Savage Snowflake podcast with me, Jeff Leach, your father, your teacher, your lover, your sister, your brother, your child, and your unborn embryo. I am all of those things to you, and you are everything to me. Almost as much to me as my lovely, adorable, and very, very attractive and funny guest today. She's an actress, she's a writer, she's also a stand-up comedian. That's how we know each other through the circuit. It's Miss Zainab Johnson, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, Jeff.
There you go.
And Jeff's listeners.
And Jeff's listeners. Yeah, the Savages.
I was going to say, are they called something? The Savages.
Yeah,
okay.
The Savages. We're savagely honest. Savagely snowflake in our attitudes.
I like it. Have you talked to Rihanna?
That's a jump. I don't understand.
Everything with Rihanna is like savage. Savage. We're savage. I'm a savage. She even made a song like I'm a savage.
Oh, then she must be an avid listener of the podcast. I can only assume by what you've described there that Rihanna is the biggest fan of this podcast.
Yeah, she listens every single week.
Amazing. Well, I'm glad to know that.
Yeah, me too.
I wonder if that could become a truth. There's a lot of celebrity fans of podcasts.
Yeah.
Do you remember how certain people get bunched up because suddenly like some pop musician is like, oh my God, I love this guy or I love this girl, so funny, check out their thing.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, new million fans.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen for me. Rihanna's going to be like, this guy, straight up savage, check out his podcast. And then next thing, I'm walking down the red carpet with her. We're in love. We've got children. And, I'm happy for the first time in my entire life. Your face is saying everything I need to know. You're looking at me like you look to me like a child with a terminal illness.
You know what's so beautiful about life? That could actually happen.
Do you reckon?
Pete Davidson was with Ariana Grande. Jeff Leach can be with Rihanna.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, fair.
I mean,
hang on a sec though. Also, Pete Davidson is a young man on a huge show. And you know what I mean? He's going to come across Ariana Grande. I don't think I'm going to bump into Rihanna at Ralph's or at Costco when I'm picking up
you may not.
four almond milk for the price of two. Like she's not going to be there reaching out for the almond milk at the same time my little hands touch.
Remember the fine ass man that got arrested? The mugshot went viral. Oh
yeah, with the fucking beautiful green eyes.
Yes, he just impregnated the heir. The only heir is to the Top Shop fortune.
Yeah, good lad. Good fucking lad.
I'm just
saying. Which is ironic because he's been stealing from Top Shop for years.
Top man?
No, Top Shop.
Top Shop?
Accessories. He goes there for accessories. Those rings.
I'm just saying anything is possible.
Okay. You know what? That's a beautiful way to look at the world.
Yeah.
Is it true though?
What?
Sometimes some things are not possible. Sometimes it's okay to look at someone and they have a dream and to maybe say it, but definitely think it and just go, oh, your dream is never going to come to fruition. I know it's not a very popular way to look at the world these days. Everything is about you can achieve anything, you can be anything, you can do whatever you want. But sometimes you got to look at a 34-year-old comedian from England with this face and go, probably you and Rihanna fucking, that's an unlikelihood.
I'm just going into Rihanna's history and some of the people that Rihanna has fucked publicly that we know of.
Yeah.
I mean,
lot of tall, white, hairy dudes.
I'm not saying that she won't wake up with regrets. I'm just saying the act is possible.
You're so supportive and yet so soul destroying in the same fucking sentence. I'm not saying she's not going to wake up and immediately vomit on your chest.
I'm not saying she won't press charges. I'm just saying.
Oh my God. Why do you hurt me so much? Wow. Fucking
I
hell.
felt like you wanted me to bring you back down to reality. I was letting you.
I was living in the clouds.
pushing you up in the clouds, and you were like, "No, bring me back down." I'm like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna bring him back down."
Zainab, I'm not gonna lie. I was up there on cloud 9. Rihanna, fucking umbrellas playing in the background. Everyone's dressed in white. Rihanna was floating towards me on a little smoke cloud.
Yeah.
My dick just came out
Yeah.
through my soft. It was like Balinese cotton linen, and it just burst forth. And it was at least 2 inches bigger than I remember it.
Okay.
And she was, "Whoa, that's savage!"
Yeah,
she said, and I was like, "Yeah, it is, baby." And then suddenly it exploded, and there was your face looking at me, going,
My face.
She's gonna press charges." Like, what do you think I'm going to do to Rihanna? First of all, how do you have such a low opinion of me?
I never want my face to be in between Rihanna and a dick. I never want that. I never, ever want
That's
that.
ironic, because that's exactly where I want my face to be. I want to be there.
In between Rihanna and a dick?
Yeah.
Do you
why
care
not?
which dick?
Oh, the guy cheating on his Top Shop heiress with Rihanna. That handsome dude. I'd be near that guy's dick. I wouldn't want to necessarily like touch it or kiss
Yeah,
it or
but you'd be near it.
caress it. But I wouldn't mind being at the other end of Rihanna if that dick was the dick that was in present company.
Okay.
Maybe that's how I do it. Maybe I got to befriend this guy first and then try and find Rihanna.
I have never ever heard that as a game plan. Like, I'm going to be friends with a guy to get to a girl.
Have you ever been approached for a little 3-way situation by guys before?
No.
Really?
No, like I've had conversations with boyfriends, like really like skating.
Should we?
Yeah.
Maybe we could involve another girl, or
No,
maybe another guy.
not even that deep. More like, how do you feel about it? Like hypothetically.
But when someone asks that question, hypothetically speaking, how would you feel if my friend Sarah that you've met came over and sat on your face whilst I was riding your dick? How would you hypothetically feel if I brought home another guy so you could both fuck me at the same time?
Yeah.
Means I had a dream the other day where I was getting fucked by you and another guy, and I kind of want to make that reality. That's what that means.
Which is fine. But I think that guys see me as like I think they have this idea of me, and they keep a certain level of respect. And so I think guys look at me like, she probably has never had cum on her face.
Yeah.
I think that's how guys look at me. Whether I have or haven't, I think that that's how they look at me. Like, no, she's never.
I think you have.
Okay. I mean, think what you want.
Not because I think you don't strike me as a woman who actively seeks out
Cum
ejaculate for her face. I just mean that
I hear it clears up
think
acne.
that you'd be hard pressed in 2018 to find any woman of age who's sexually active who's never had a little cum on her face, even if she was just given a blowjob and then a little, whoa, there's a bit more than I thought, and a little splush goes bloop on the side of
But you see, even how you're phrasing.
I got that. Let me get that for you. Yeah. Or he leans in and just sucks it up. See, why is that free? Why is tasting your own home brand? Why is that so disgusting to you?
I guess it's a little bit homoerotic to me.
Have you ever, isn't that funny? You can't be homoerotic with yourself. You can't gay off with yourself.
It's kind of like cannibalism.
Hang on a sec. If a guy's jerking himself, I didn't think this would get this sexual, A, and B, not within the first 2 minutes of the fucking podcast. But I'm very intrigued by this. So you think that if a man is maybe, like, let's say, stimulating himself.
Yeah.
But
he's like, ooh.
Yeah, imagine if he like, no, but wait. Imagine if he put a finger in his own ass to stimulate his own prostate whilst he's jerking off. Is that homoerotic? Is that a bit gay?
I don't think it's a bit gay. I think he knows where his G-spot is, and he's doing what he needs to do to get off.
Yeah.
Am I going to be
way,
with that guy?
You're looking at me again. This is going to be your face throughout the whole podcast. He's like, a bit like, really? You do that?
Because you know I'm visual.
I've never done that.
I'm visual. So the moment you said it, I just imagined you jerking off, putting your finger in your butt.
Okay, hypothetically, how did that make you feel? Disgusted?
No.
Rihanna level of like, oh.
It didn't pique my interest.
Regretful.
But it didn't disgust me.
Okay, all right.
It was just kind of like, oh, okay.
So if you like imagine we were away doing a run of shows in Vegas or
Yes.
something at the Comedy Cellar, and I'd said, oh, I'll be ready about 2. Let's go and have some lunch. And you came and knocked on my door, but couldn't hear an answer. But you saw the door was open. And you just came in unannounced, and I was there with the old thing and the finger in the butt and jerking myself off. And I was like, oh my God, fuck, Jesus. You wouldn't be like, "Hurrah!" But you also wouldn't be like, You just go, whoa, sorry.
I would just say, I would just be like, oh my God.
You
like,
do you.
Sorry.
You do you, boo.
Yeah, exactly. Live your best life.
Live your best life. Live my best life.
And then I would exit and I would call my closest friend
I would never
who
talk
doesn't
to you
know
ever
you.
again. Who doesn't know
I
me.
would be bringing you up on stage, and he just finished sticking his own finger in his ass.
Finger in his own ass.
Give it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Leach. I'd own it. I'd own that.
Yeah.
That would be the best intro. Wouldn't be the worst introduction I've ever had on stage.
It would be amazing. And you know what? People wouldn't believe it. They would think, oh, those guys are so goofy and kooky.
Let's bring it back, though. Why? First of all, there's two things. We're skipping over stuff.
Okay.
One, so my comment about you, I understand what you're saying, that you're very much, you're a very elegant woman. You have a background in modeling as well. You've done some modeling, right? All right. Is that why you're not saying it? Because you don't want to like...
Well, no, it's like it's nothing that I've ever pursued. I think it's something that people ask of me. And sometimes I've said yes.
You have all
but
of
I'm
the aesthetic qualities of a runway model. You're very
that's
tall.
so sweet.
You have like thin legs, a long frame. You have a nice shapely face, high cheekbones, very attractive lady. So you have all these things that puts you in that place.
Yeah.
On top of that, you carry yourself with a certain elegance and grace.
Yes.
So I get why guys might be like, oh no, she's a real princess. This
Yeah.
girl's never had a dick in her face. She's never had cum on her face. But then I don't see you as just the aesthetic. I see you as a woman, a natural feeling human woman.
A multi-layered human being.
I'm pretty certain has had sex in her life. Okay. And if you've ever had sex, then at some point a little jizz ends up in a place where you don't necessarily expect it to be.
I think when people think about like cum on the face, they're not thinking like, ooh, a little bit of accidental jizz on the face. I think when you think about cum on the face, it's like,
glazing.
Yeah, it's like this was on purpose.
An industrial donut glazing shop level.
Yeah, this is a face mask.
Wallpaper paste.
Yes.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I don't like doing that. I realized lately, I've been very honest about my sexual appetite. I've always had a very open mind to sexual stuff.
Okay.
But lately I've decided
like
there's certain things. Yeah, but there's also, but people think that makes me dirty or freaky. I'm not. I'm very polite, very sexually, consensual, obviously, but also respectful of my partners. Even if we're going to do some crazy, freaky shit, I need to know exactly what she's comfortable with and what she wants to do and what she doesn't. I don't just surprise. No, there's jizz in your eye.
Yeah.
And also, and I don't know if this is being an older man thing, I have no desire to do that to a woman. It's such a prevalent thing in pornography. It's normally the end shot is always a woman taking a face full of cum.
Okay. I watched my first porn at the beginning of this year.
What? Why what? How old are you? Are you allowed to say? Do you want to say you're definitely older than 25?
Yeah, no.
How can it be
same age?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How can you have never seen pornography?
I never masturbated before the beginning of this year. I never masturbated.
What? Are you fucking serious?
No, my ex-boyfriend. We had broke up at the end of last year.
You've never pleasured yourself, ever?
No, like maybe as a kid. You know how they say kids
discovering
masturbate?
Thing,
yeah, so maybe I did. I mean, I don't remember. I don't have any recollection of that. But as
blocked out the negative feelings.
I mean, as a adult or teenager or whatever, I have never. One time I tried it because one of my friends who was a lesbian when I was in college, she is a lesbian. She was.
I was what happened to her?
I know, right? I was complaining about this guy that I was seeing, like not being satisfied. Like I wasn't satisfied with him,
and she said,
was like,
"Just do your own thing."
No, she was like, "Well, are you telling him how to please you?" And I was like, "What do you mean? Aren't guys supposed to know?" And she was like, "No." She was like, "You have to tell him." She was like, "What do you like?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she was like, "Do you masturbate?" And I was like, "What?" And she was like, you have to do it you have to like play with yourself first so you know exactly what you like and then relay that to him.
Maybe this is why men think that you're that non-sexual or that whilst they look at you with maybe some desire, they don't see you as a sexual conquest because you're not giving off that energy because sex is not one of your focuses, clearly.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been for most of your life.
Yeah.
When I was a teenage boy, actually, I'm going to make you feel hopefully slightly less weird about never having fucking touched your own vagina.
Actually didn't feel weird at all, but thank you for letting me know I was supposed to feel weird.
Super fucking weird. Super fucking weird that you're a 30-something-year-old lady who's never played with her own pussy.
Well, I know. Now I have.
Until this year.
Yeah, until this year, yeah.
That's fucking super weird.
Okay.
And age of PC, I'm sorry. You're
but
fucking,
so
that's
listen,
a bit weird.
I started like 2 years ago, I started waking up out of my sleep in mid-orgasm. And I was like, oh my God, a ghost is coming
It's
in
like
and raping me.
tantric stuff.
I was like, a ghost is coming in.
Ghost of
and
Michael
sleeping
Jackson.
with
He's
me.
famous for that. If you read any of the tabloids.
And I said it like I was testing for a show, and I said it, and all the other women, it was like a panel show, and all the other women were like, wait, what? I was like, oh, ghosts don't come in and make you guys have orgasms either. And they were like, no. And I was like, I don't know how it's happening.
Wow.
So go ahead, make me
like
feel less
that's
weird.
your natural conclusion. Not like, oh, I was having a sex dream, or maybe something inside of me is pushing me towards that. You were like, no, definitely Casper the Friendly Ghost is all grown up now.
Not Casper,
came and
but
slipped me some of that sweet Casper dick.
Not Casper dick. Maybe Idris Ghost Dick.
He's not even dead yet. Don't wish death
But
on
it's
the man.
Ghost Dick.
Hang on a sec. Let me. Well, God, there's so many things.
Okay.
So many things.
Well,
first of all, I was going to make you feel less like
Weird.
you're, well, let's say socially retarded now, because we've gone a full hag.
Okay.
Let's go sexually retarded.
Okay.
Sexually regressive, socially retarded, but your hair looks amazing.
Thank you.
Here's the thing. When I was a teenage boy, when I was 11, I think, all my friends talked about playing with themselves. Like that was kind of a playground thing you heard. Like, oh yeah, you got to play with your cock. Yeah, you got to fucking jerk yourself off. So I went home and tried to do it. I tried to fucking play with it and make myself feel good, and it didn't work. I couldn't reach that climax.
Yeah.
Then, after my first hookup with a girl where she played with my dick, all great. So from that moment on, I assumed the only way that I could ever get any kind of stimulation or relief is with a woman. So I was overtly interested in girls from a very young age, like sort of like 11 years old, started fingering girls, stuff like that. And, by 12, 13, blowjobs and stuff. And then I was also...
That's young.
It is quite young.
Yeah.
But I didn't have sex until 16. But then also... I had a ridiculous amount of testosterone because there was no release. There was no I wasn't getting laid every fucking week. I wasn't getting a hand job or a blowjob from a girl every week. That was still like a very rare occurrence.
Yeah.
So it was very frustrating. And that carried on until I was 19. When I went to university, went to college and started my degree, there was internet, like an internet system for the college, and you could share movies, music, videos. So I found all of this shit, and a load of it was a porn. And one day I sat down and watched a whole load of porn, and I thought, you know what? I'll just give it a go. Play with my dick, and I came, and I remember I stayed in my room for fucking 12 hours, just jerking off over and over
You
and
binge
over
jerked?
again. I binge jerked. I did. They had an intervention. People had to sit me down with a box of tissues, obviously, and be like, dude, we can hear it through the walls. You're going to do that thing some damage. Here's some cream. Stop it.
Yeah.
No, but I fucking went ham after that. And now I think it's like a daily occurrence. It's got to be... Since you started doing it at the beginning of this year, are you glad you've discovered that you can do that?
I'm so glad. And you know what? I mean, thank God for the few guys that I did sleep with before I discovered it, because if I had known about masturbation before that, I could probably knock 4 guys off my count, because what happens with me is I usually abstain from sex when I'm not in a relationship.
Okay, yeah.
And so what happens is I'll go without sex or any sort of sexual stimulation for 3-4 years, and then years
at a time
in between a relationship. Yeah. And then I'll get in a relationship.
Do you think you're asexual? Do you think maybe you're asexual? Maybe you're not that. Maybe you're just not interested in it.
No. So when I get in a relationship, I become a nympho.
Right. Okay.
A nympho, like to the point where my last boyfriend had to say to me, he had to say like when we first got together, he was like, I'm my dick is raw. I just can't. You got to leave me alone for a little while. And I was just like, oh, and I think that's why he's the one who bought me a vibrator.
Really?
Yeah, he
good
was
lads,
like,
good lads.
yeah, he said there's
That's
no
good
way.
business sense. That's good business sense anyway.
He bought me 2, actually. He bought me one during our relationship, and then when we broke up, he sent me another one. Like, I think it was
now
like
you're not going to have this sweet dick. Here's a temporary replacement.
I don't know if he was being an asshole or if it was like a lovely parting gift. But
was it a mold of his penis?
No.
Because you can get those done,
Oh, no.
I've often thought that once I really make it, that will be the first thing on my merch store.
Yeah,
it's going to be like a
mold of your penis.
a mold of my cock.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how many units I would sell to like lonely housewife fans?
I've never seen your cock, so I can't even really. I don't want to see it. That was not an invitation.
Didn't even say I was going to show it to you.
I'm just saying, that like after I said it, I realized that sounds like an invitation.
No, it doesn't. It sounds
Okay.
like you saying I've never seen your cock.
So I can't really say how it'll sell.
Sure, it would sell great.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
As long as they do miniature versions. They have to do one of those. You know those little bullet vibrators?
Yeah, yes.
That's the size of my actual cock.
Oh,
so it's kind of perfect. You don't use it as a dildo. You just use it as a vibrator.
use it as a
tiny micro
yeah.
penis. It's like a button mushroom.
Okay.
Sitting on like a wedge of carrot.
I feel like Rihanna is moving further and further away.
She's apparently not about the dick. She doesn't care. She's all about tongue skills.
Oh, is she?
And I'm a linguist,
Okay.
clearly.
Okay.
So, you know.
If you end up
Don't
hooking
question
up
our love. Rihanna
you-
and I have something deeper than just physicality.
if you end up hooking up with Rihanna, I want a thank you card.
Why would you think it would be? Surely I should send myself a thank you card.
No,
Thanks, Jeff, for being good enough to get Rihanna to
the
fucking
fact that I've
consider sleeping with
instilled
you.
the confidence and even the idea.
You don't know I didn't have that confidence
No,
prior
I
to
could
this
tell by the way you
conversation.
reacted to me saying it at first. You were like,
I
had to convince you to believe it.
It's unlikely Rihanna and I are going to end up hanging out somewhere long enough for me to have a conversation and connect with her to a level where she goes, I'm sexually attracted to this guy and I'd like to spend more time with him.
stranger things have happened. Trump is president.
Don't get me wrong. If I had like an opportunity to converse and flirt with Rihanna, I fancy that I might have a good enough chance.
Okay.
Simply based on confidence.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
One night.
What about you? Do you get approached by
I grew up
guys much? Because you're we've already established, right? And this is, obviously it's a subjective viewpoint, but I think it's one that's held by a huge amount of the comedy community, male and female. You're a very beautiful woman within the world of comedy, aesthetically. As, you know, almost as beautiful as you are funny, hey? But also, I think a lot of hot girls find that very hard to meet men because they intimidate men. And you're funny on top of it, which is double. That's like a double whammy of make men feel emasculated.
Okay, two things. One, before I answer that question, I went to a club one night
Right.
and I just wanted to get out of the house with my friend. We're in New York. Fast forward, I'm in VIP. I'm sitting right next to Jay-Z. Now, when I woke up that morning, I didn't think I was going to be sitting next to Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? But
When you woke up that morning, you didn't realize you'd be sitting next to Jay-Z. You were sitting next to him in the morning as well?
No, I'm saying
That's what it sounded like.
Shut up. You get what I'm saying. You get the point of that
I get what
story.
you're saying, and Beyonce's going to fucking come for you.
Shut up. Okay, to your question.
Yeah.
I was out on a date with this guy. We went on a date first, and then he came and we had a great date.
First of all, let me get give me a picture of the man. I want to see I want to know who's the man that Zainab Johnson dates.
He was different from the rest.
Tall, short.
He was shorter than me. He slightly shorter than me.
Ugh.
White guy, a Venice, like, you know, techie, sort of like, like a surfer / techie, like every year.
He owns a startup. A short guy who owns a startup but surfs on the weekend.
He definitely surfs, but he doesn't. He's a techie guy. So he's going to build your website. He's going to, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not going to book him. He's not building my fucking website. I never hang out with short people.
He's not super short, but I mean, it doesn't take a lot to be shorter than me. You're tall, but I'm also very tall.
Yeah, you're like
you
6'1"
can't tell
or
sitting
something.
down.
You're about 6'1", right?
No, I'm only like 6 foot.
Oh,
I'm like
only
in between.
like
I'm
6
in
foot.
between 5'11" and 6 foot.
Okay,
like
okay,
5'11" and a half. So we're out on a date. He's like, has like, I don't know, like dirty blonde hair or whatever.
Yeah.
And like bluish, grayish eyes.
I'm into him now.
Okay.
I'm into him a little bit.
Okay. And he.
Don't know about the blonde hair, but the eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool eyes. He looked like. What's his name?
Owen Wilson.
No. This is going to throw you off a bit because I said the blonde hair, but he looks like
Ryan Gosling.
Shut up. He looks like what's the guy who
Cat
played
Williams.
Oh God, you're not helping me. He has a sister. He's an actor. He's a huge actor. He also has a sister.
Oh, Zoe Deschanel and no, not Zoe Deschanel, but the guy who was in the Donnie Darko. They're brother and sister, aren't they? Donnie Darko actor.
He was in Brokeback Mountain. I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to like.
Yeah. And he was in Donnie Darko.
I don't know
What's
if I've
his
seen
fucking Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal. So
Gyllenhaal.
if a movie was made about this guy, Jake Gyllenhaal would play.
He
him.
looked a bit like him.
He looked a
but
bit
with
like him,
blondier
but
hair.
with blondier hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right. I wouldn't have seen that as your type.
that's why I say he was different. I wouldn't call him my type. So he was different from the normal bunch.
Wait, you met him on a dating app?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was my one and only time on an actual
I
dating
deleted
app.
all of them now.
I've never been on them. I did it for a show, and I ended up meeting somebody. That's it.
What ensnared you? The conversation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because it doesn't sound like it was his looks.
No, it was definitely the conversation.
Or his height.
No, I didn't even know how tall he was. In the pictures, he looked tall. In his pictures, he looked tall. But we have such good conversation that when it was time for us to shoot the show, I held his information from the producers because I didn't want him to be like embarrassed.
Yeah. And you wanted to give it a chance.
Well, no, I just erased it. I just didn't even talk to him. I just erased the app and everything. So then he found me on a social media app.
Wow, he went to the next level.
Yeah, he found me, and I didn't check my messages.
How did he find you?
Because he knew my name.
Oh, was it? And was it?
My name is not a
Raya?
common...
Was it Raya, the dating app? Raya? No, okay. It's a dating app.
Oh no, I've
Raya.
never even heard of that.
But it shows your Instagram. It's a celebrity dating app.
Oh,
but it
okay.
shows
No,
your Instagram.
No.
So he did a bit of fucking
yeah.
cyber stalking.
Yeah, and he sent me a message. But on Instagram,
I'm watching you.
On Instagram they don't show you the messages from people that you don't
follow. It's in the other folder.
Yeah, and so I had no idea that he sent me a message. I didn't see it until months later when somebody else was like, "Could you please check your messages? Like, I don't think you follow me, so you're not seeing my messages." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." And then I saw from him.
How many other creepy messages were there in that other folder?
I can't even remember.
A lot.
Maybe I honestly can't remember. I get creepy messages every day.
Okay.
Anywho, we go on this fast forward. We go on this date, and then he comes with me.
Where did he take you on the date?
It was it was a restaurant on 3rd. It's like Mexican inspired, but it's like high end. I forget the name of it. It was
not Toca Madera. No, what's it?
Toca Madera.
Yeah, that
I
one.
believe.
Yeah, with nice cocktails. It got really nice
great
cocktails.
That's the best thing about it.
Yeah.
It was when they first opened. Yeah.
I took a date there before.
Yeah. It was a good time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he comes to my spot with me afterwards, and when I got off stage, he said, "If I saw your comedy first, I don't think I would have asked you out." And I was like, "Why?" And he was like, "You just seem like so like powerful up there. You seem so confident.
And
like
he wants a weak woman."
And I was like, it threw me off.
I was my ladies weak.
It threw me off. I was like, what was I like looking like a weak ass bitch on the date, you know? And he was like, no, I think I would have been intimidated if I saw you on stage.
There's a different softness when you're off stage in the way you interact with someone than there is on stage.
Yeah,
of course, but that's natural, right?
Yeah.
You're fucking up there.
Yeah, I'm not flirting with the audience. I'm not playing coy with the audience. I got to demand that.
I do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's half my shtick now. I realize people are not attracted to a 6'4" big hairy bloke who's too brash.
Yeah.
So I have to be a bit more.
But you're a guy. It's like they're
also, I'm trying to get laid after the shows.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Me, it's like women. They already like, what's about to happen?
Yeah.
So I have to come in and be like, trust me.
Sure.
Trust what the fuck I'm about to do.
Are you sure you're not into Cat Williams?
Cat Williams actually asked me to marry him.
Of course he did. He's Cat, but also no offense to you, because I feel like he won't be alone in wanting to marry you. However, Cat Williams does do a lot of crack cocaine, so I'm sure he actually asked a lamppost to marry him earlier that day as well.
But here's the details of our friendship. I put you with Rihanna. I said it's a possibility. You were like, I put you with Cat Williams because he's a crackhead.
You can't get Cat Williams. I might have a chance with Rihanna. That's what we're taking away from this. I might have a chance with Rihanna. You can't even get Cat Williams to slip a little dick. White privilege. There we go. That's white privilege in a nutshell. Okay, so wait, you went on the date.
Went on a date.
He was intimidated by you.
Yeah.
Second date? No second date.
No, we dated for a little while. We dated for a couple of months.
Were you intimate with him? Is that too personal a question?
It's not too personal. A certain degree of intimacy, but not the full. I don't
understand how a woman could fuck a guy smaller than her. Like, I just think there's something. I'm sorry. I'm alpha, right? And I'm not embarrassed or ashamed of being a fucking alpha.
A guy that I really
doesn't mean
like.
I'm a piece of shit, but it means there's certain things like I like being big enough to fucking pick a woman up and have sex with her against the wall. If your man can't do that, how can your pussy ever get any level of excitement for that?
I think
cock?
that you're assuming that just because a guy is smaller than a woman that he cannot do that. And that's what you have to let go.
Also, you got so many fucking legs. You're all legs, babe. He'd be like,
there's a guy that I like right now.
Jake Gyllenhaal looking motherfucker. Just trying to hold your fucking shit up. Just saying.
I'll say this. His strong suit was he licked from the rooter to the tutor. Does that make sense?
Oh,
that was his strong suit.
That he gave you a rim job. That's all she's looking for.
He licked from the top.
The rooter to the tutor.
To the bottom.
You do realize a tutor, though, is your bum hole.
Is that? Then that's great. Then I've described.
And then rim job is when someone licks your anus.
Okay, well, then I've described it perfect.
Okay, there you go. All right. You know what's so funny is you're such a series of fucking weird juxtapositions because you're not very preoccupied with sex, but then when you are in a relationship, you get very sexual. You're not very you've had let's call it vanilla, a reasonably vanilla sexual experience up to this point because you haven't even started playing with yourself until the beginning of this year, and yet all about a man licking your asshole. That's a very wonderfully almost mutually exclusive set of feelings.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm all about it, but he definitely
You know what you are? You're the Mormon girl who grows up and never having sex, never looking at boy, not being allowed to talk to boys until she's like 24, and then she goes away on a retreat and then she meets a guy, and within 6 months she's just dicks everywhere. Just fucking, she's got a pony harness, butt plug. Yeah, just everything. Nice. Maybe that's why guys don't see you as the jizz on the face girl. They see you as the marriage girl because they're like, well, I mean, a woman like this, you got to marry this chick.
A friend told me that a comedian, he was talking to me and another friend of ours who was a female, and he was like, it's really strange because the other female, she looked like uber sexual. You know,
right,
he's like, you look like we can do it, like you gonna give it up at any moment and we could do whatever with you. And so it's really off-putting to see that you make men work hard for it because you don't look like you do. He was like, and then Zainab, he was like, I don't know what you do with men, but you look like I'm gonna have to do a lot of work to be with you. And sometimes men don't want to have to do a lot of work. Fools,
you don't suffer fools easily. I've noticed that, which is great. That's a good quality to your personality. But even me, when we drove to that show, we were all doing together and we got in the car. Like I have I'm very outspoken about my ideologies of the world and about that. And I think I would like to think most of the way that I look at the world is very morally and ethically on point and progressive. But there's some things that I'll say very out of, I'll just go, boom, here's a thought. And you would always pick me up on it. You're you're tough. You're like an older sister tough. Yeah. Like going, listen, I know you believe that, but you might just be a fucking idiot, Jeff. Yeah. I'm like, oh okay, well.
Well, I am an older sister, so.
Do you get painted with a brush as well because of the color of your skin? That if you're being strong and confident and know your shit, that it's like, oh, well, of course, she's a sassy black woman.
So that's what happened with Jake Gyllenhaal. That's his name?
Thought you were a sassy black chick.
Yeah, whenever we would get into, that's the reason why we stopped dating, because whenever we would get into discuss, any sort of disagreement, he would say, you're being so aggressive. And I'm like, wait, you can curse, you can raise your voice, but the moment I say anything that I'm slightly passionate. When I say I'm being aggressive. Yeah, I would just, in the moment, I'm like one of those people, like the moment you make me shut up, when I shut up, it's like I'm not saying anything else again.
Ever.
So, are you sure you want me to be quiet?
Don't upset her halfway through a comedy show.
Are you sure?
Are you sure you want to go down this? Are you sure? Did he ever call you? Did he use the S word? I feel like how most women feel about the word moist is how black women feel about the word sassy. Yeah,
he definitely did. And you know what?
I've done it in the past, and I would never make that mistake. Yeah,
again. You know what? I'm not
Don't
even.
Call a black woman sassy.
I'm not even offended by sassy. Like sassy is a word in the dictionary that has a definition, right? And so
but
at times,
it's very
applicable I am
to
sassy.
Certain race, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but when certain people say it and their intention behind saying it, it's not like
they're basically going, "You're being super black right now." They're not saying you're being sassy.
If there was some other woman,
it's a white person's way to be able to say black. You're acting super black right now.
Yeah, but I'd rather you say that. Yeah. I'd rather you say that.
Yeah.
Like, let's be clear.
Yeah. But I go to the next level. I'll be very specific about the type of black you're being.
Okay, which is?
Because there's acting Jamaican, there's acting Haitian, there's acting African. These are very different things. I live with a Nigerian guy. He didn't ever act like a Jamaican.
Okay.
He acted like an African. He was very African in his behavior. Yeah. I act very much like a fucking London white boy. Like I know that certain thing. Today, oh my God, I almost got in a fucking huge situation today. First of all, I was driving, I just left the DMV being told I had to fucking make an appointment, which was going to take 2 months to get for another temporary license because they still haven't sent me my license after 3 months. Fuck this government and the way this country runs. What do we say? Not the bureaucracy. The bureaucracy.
Yeah. Yes.
But anyway, I'm driving, I'm a little bit frustrated, and I'm already just upset about how the day's going this morning. And then I'm driving along, and there's these 2 stop signs. It's right near Gold's Gym here in Hollywood. There's 2 stop signs. Boom, boom. And then the main road, there's no stop sign. So it's just a
perpendicular road.
It's a 2-way stop, I guess, rather than a 4-way stop. So I know this, but I also know people are fucking idiots, and it's Los Angeles, and no one knows how to drive here. So I always slow slightly when I'm coming up because I want to make sure someone's not powering through. Yeah. Right? And I come up, and
Are you in a car or on a bike?
I'm in a car.
Okay.
I'm in a car.
Okay.
I'm in a car. So I come up in my car, and I see a car coming up, and I'm thinking, this guy's not going to stop. I bet you he won't stop. So I ease off slightly, even though it's his stop sign, right? And I see him come up, and he fucking floors it. Not only does he not stop, he puts his foot down to try and get through before me. So I end up having to slam on my brakes and swerve left to stop him fucking plowing into the front of my car.
Oh, wow.
And I'm hit the horn. I'm like, what the fuck? And I look, and he just sticks his fucking finger out at me. This cunt fucking, anyway, oh my God, Zainab. I haven't been this angry. Anyway, he sticks his fucking finger. He's like, fuck you, man, blah, blah. So I just fucking spin my wheel, put my foot on. Oh, I fucking donutted my 2001 Toyota Corolla. The poor little car was just like, what the fuck are you doing? And I spun round and I zoomed up after him, and he got stopped to the lights, and I parked my car up, got right up next to his bumper, put it in fucking park, and I got out of my car, and I swear to God, Zainab, I was going to pull this cunt out of his car, and he just fucking sped off through another red light to get away from me. I was like, yeah, fucking better run, you cunt. And afterwards, I saw an old lady in the car who was just like this. 2 gay guys going to Gold's Gym, big buff, muscular, bearded guy, and they were just like, oh my God, this guy, look at how angry he is. I think they were simultaneously shocked, but also super rock hard as well. Oh, that was so fucking hard. And I saw like some kids as well on the corner, like, you know, just kids like look like fucking little SoundCloud rappers and their little girlfriends, and they were all just like, fuck man, like one of them was like, fuck dude, like that. And I got back in my car and I said, all right, that was very un-LA and incredibly London. But that's who I am. Mm-hmm. That's a part of me. That's the angry Macedonian. You fucking almost kill me. Mm-hmm. And then act like that. I will come at you, pull you out your car through the fucking window and rip your wing mirrors off. Fuck you, you little cunt. Anyway, he's lucky he drove away. And I'm lucky he drove away, because otherwise I might be sitting in a fucking prison cell. Yeah, exactly. But there's different, what I'm saying is there are very like cultural elements to how we act, you know, in the thing. But to pretend, that's the problem with a lot of race issues or racism, is a misunderstanding of what they're trying to say, and people lying about what they're trying to say by covering it with different words, which can be more infuriating and upsetting to a person sometimes.
Absolutely. And you know what? As white and as British as you may be, I still recognize the emotion of anger. Oh. And if you're angry, I'm not going to say you're being you're being a fucking white guy. Because that's not white guy behavior. Yeah. That's human behavior.
Yeah, yeah.
You're fucking angry. Yeah. And so if he said to me, you're being snappy, you're angry, you're yelling, those are all words that may be factual at the time. Yeah. But to say, why you being all sassy for? Like
exactly. Yeah.
What?
Do you think when it comes to interracial dating, people, before they even, because I'm going to be honest with you, I've just recently been spending a lot of time, you know, just over the last week, with a girl who's, you know, she's Puerto Rican and black mix. And
I like how you hit the black. You're like Puerto Rican and black.
Did I realize hit it in a different way?
Yeah.
Well, because I was going to say, I don't want to lead you down the gun path thinking she's only, you know, Latin.
Yeah.
She's also a black girl. She's got like both heritage.
Okay.
And she's awesome. And we seem to connect very much on just a human level.
Okay.
But I've also dated lots of women of color in the past, and I think sometimes it would make life so much easier for interracial dating if both people sat down and went, okay, so here's a set of things I do because of who I am as a person. Yeah. Here's a set of things I do that sometimes might be because culturally, my upbringing, the people I grew up with, by the way, this is part of black culture, this is part of white culture. Yeah. And if they just ran through a little checklist of going, but also, FYI, if you say this to me, it's going to really fucking trigger 20, 30 years of something in my head that I've been told over and again because of a certain thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think we could have avoided, interracial dating. There should be a handbook, the interracial dating handbook.
Yeah, I agree with you. But you know what? And I just hate to say it. There's not a lot of things that a person of another race can say to me or cultural background can say to me that's going to offend me. There's very few
you've heard
things.
It all?
No. Just because if you say the wrong shit, that means that shit is in you. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not going to bother me for you to say you're so fucking passionate. It's not going to bother me to say, you know what, Zainab, you're a bit tough because that's that New York shit in you.
Yeah.
You need to relax. We're on the beach. That's not going to hurt me. But if you say some shit that is the polite way of you saying the motherfucking N-word, I'm going to pick that shit up so innately. Do you get what I'm saying?
How do I say right now that you're shouting at me? How do I say that?
Just say
right
you've raised your voice. You realize you've raised your voice. But if you're
raising
like
your voice at me, and
you're being such a black girl, what the fuck are you talking about?
You are being super black right now, and I'm very turned on. Yeah. I'm just. I'm joking. I'm joking. I was always turned on. I think it's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult because the only way. Oh God, I'm glad we're talking about race.
But you know what? There were things. There were the way we communicated. There were so many miscommunications that, in my opinion, I would say I think it's a culture thing, but it may not be. I'll explain it to you. One of our biggest fights were. He was telling me that he had to give up his apartment for whatever reason, right? Mm-hmm. And he said that he was staying with a female friend, a female neighbor, right? And I was like, oh, okay. It's kind of strange to me. Like, we've been seeing each other for 4 months at this point.
Right, okay.
And you have to sleep somewhere else for a few days.
Why wouldn't he come and sleep at your house?
Yeah, why? But then I thought, well,
maybe because you keep rubbing that dick raw.
No. This is Jake Gyllenhaal. This is not my boyfriend.
Okay.
That's separate people.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I know they're different people. I'm just saying if you
have a history, I was not rubbing that dick raw.
You have a history of.
I was being
kind of assaulting men in the bedroom a little bit.
I was being.
I don't want to say you're like the female black Louis C.K. I don't want to say that, but people are going to think it. They're going to think it.
The female black Louis C.K.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what? I'm just skipping past Louis C.K. So he's like, I'm going to stay with my female neighbor. And it was confusing to me. And then.
That is super weird. If I was intimate with a woman, I'd want to go and stay with her for a couple of days.
But then I'm just
also maybe doesn't want to put you out.
Yeah. Then I'm just like, maybe he, just travel time to and from work, whatever, like convenience.
Maybe he's just sleeping with his neighbor. Maybe.
Even that ain't the issue for me. I know you would think that would be the issue. That was not the issue for me. I found out in the conversation that the neighbor is not even a person that like lives down the hall. The neighbor was like a mile away. Since when is that a neighbor?
Yeah, that's super weird. Yeah.
And I was like, and I kept asking people, I kept trying to ask like my white friends. I was like, is that a white thing? Is the radius for your neighbors different than the radius for our neighbors? Because a mile away is not a neighbor to me.
Yeah.
That's just a friend who lives in the same city. A neighbor is who that's somebody that you knock on their door for sugar, right?
Yeah.
Hey, can I use your
neighbor.
phone? Mine's is out.
My neighbors are here. You're going to
You don't have to get in your car to go see your neighbor.
You're going to meet them all in a minute when they come down and complain about the shouting.
Who's the black girl? Who's the person in your apartment being black?
Yeah. Jesus. Let's get some music on and some cooking on the stove. Let's complete the look. Let's get some delicious spices.
Oh, God. Well, now I know it's not a white thing.
It's definitely not a white thing. It just sounds like it might be an arsehole thing.
Yeah. I think it was.
Yeah. Also, I'm surprised that someone who looks like Jake Gyllenhaal would kind of fuck that up. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong. I don't know what you're like in a relationship. You might be a fucking nightmare.
I might be.
You might be a nightmare.
Bitch, I might be. That was super black of me.
That was very black. There was a little dance in there. It's everything that, that Donald Glover talks about. And this is America.
I'm so happy I've lived up to it.
Yeah. Let's detract from the deep, meaningful conversation with a moment of music and dancing, cultural appropriation. A white guy can now copy that dance, upload some videos to YouTube. It goes viral. He's on Ellen.
Let's do it.
When did you first know that you could do the nay-nay, Steve?
Do it again for us?
Do it again for us. Yeah. You get a car.
And now he's on tour doing comedy.
That guy is.
No, the white guy who can do the
is. Yeah, exactly. He's got his own YouTube Red series.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, how it goes? Do you think, are you happy with the way the industry is going?
Oh, we pivoted. Go back. I don't want to talk about this. Go back.
You don't want to talk about the industry? Is it? I feel like it's a good time right now. It must be a good time right now to be a person of color in comedy. A female. It's like got to be a better time than it was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
right?
it's like it's better, but it's not great.
Here's a gripe that I had. This was true in England as well, but I see it over here as well. Is that the industry in general will go, hey, we want to diversify some stuff. Mm-hmm. And then what they do is go, well, we need a black face or we need a black female face. And then they'll book.
I was going to say, they shouldn't say we need a black face. That can be super misinterpreted.
No, he said, well, I mean, it's not Megan Conway's show. But they'll go like, we need a black female face, right, for our show. We need to diversify this lineup. And they'll book one female black comedian.
Yeah.
And then what will happen is every other show will book that one female black comedian or a very small pool, and they don't go out and look and find other talent that fits whatever diversification they're trying to hit. So what you end up with is a completely undiversified attempt at diversification.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. And I'm just going to go a step further and say what disappoints me most is a lot of times and I'll say we as in people of color, we complain about that being done to us by the mainstream or the quote unquote majority, which are white men, right?
Yeah.
But we do it to ourselves. I'm not saying that it's not done to us by, you know what I'm saying? But even when we given the opportunity for us to change it, we do the same thing. Like I looked at a pitch deck of a friend of mine who's a black man, and he has put together all this financing for this film, and you know when he put the thing together, it's like he just copied like the problems that we complain about, colorism, like it all existed. And I'm like, you have the power to change the very thing that we're complaining about all day, every day, and you're not even choosing to do it. Yeah. He was like, it's not me, it's the director. I'm like, so fight with your fucking director or get a new director. There you go. What's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point of doing it yourself if you're not going to be the change that you want to see?
Exactly. And also if you've got that level of creative control and then you don't exercise it, you're kind of wasting yourself. Yeah. I felt like that. Look, you mentioned Idris Elba, or that you mentioned the ghost of Idris Elba. I can't believe you're wishing death on him.
I'm not.
Well, I mean, kind of you hope he turns into a ghost so he can fuck you in your dreams. That's kind of what you said. I'm just saying,
if I'm getting fucked by a ghost, I would prefer it to be the ghost of Idris Elba.
Okay, fair.
Do ghosts have diseases?
I mean, they don't exist, Zainab. So probably not. I mean, might have a little spook DD. I don't know how it works. What do I have?
I don't know. I hope nothing, because that will completely erase my ghost Idris Elba fantasy.
Ectoplasmic AIDS. I'm not quite sure what you could get from a ghost.
Okay.
Probably locked up for mental illness. That's probably the biggest fucking thing you're going to catch. Idris Elba was on a magazine recently as like the sexiest man alive.
People magazine. They do it once a year.
Was it on People magazine? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was the sexiest man alive. Idris Elba is not the sexiest man alive. Idris Elba is one of the most talented actors in Hollywood right now. He's a handsome guy. He's got sex appeal.
Yeah.
He's a great DJ.
Okay.
He's a wonderful orator, very eloquent. He's a wonderful businessman.
Okay.
He's not the sexiest man alive.
Well, to somebody, he is the sexiest man alive.
But that's the... Yeah, but...
Well,
it felt like it... You know what? See, look, that's a moment where me as a person who believes himself to be, whether I always come across like that to people, no, believes himself to be an ally, right? Yes. Of equality.
Yes.
And the notion of equality and putting that into practice in the way I live my life.
Yes.
As that guy,
yes,
I look at that and go, no, what's happened is you've picked a popular black actor to represent, who's got some sex appeal and a bit of a following, to say, here's the sexiest man alive, to appear to be super woke as a magazine, as a publication. Look how woke we are.
Okay.
Rather than choosing a Zac Efron or whatever, we chose this very talented black actor, and that makes us super woke. But there is infinitely better looking black men. I'm not saying it doesn't matter about the color of his skin. There's so many sexier black. Taye Diggs is a fucking actor who's been around longer than Idris Elba, looks younger than Idris Elba, has the cheekbones of a fucking god. There's someone I'd come on their face. I would come all over Taye Diggs' face. I'd let him jizz in my eyes, slap I assume it's a beautiful penis, slap it across my face. He could do whatever the fuck he wanted to me.
Well, let me say this. In terms of sex appeal, let me say this.
Is a sexier living man.
In terms of sex appeal, I would rather fuck Idris Elba than Taye Diggs. I can't speak for any other woman, but
all right, we're going to wrap the podcast there. Thanks very much for being with us.
But here, do you know who the sexiest man alive last year was?
Probably that guy who was fucking the prison dude.
Or no, it's always actors. It's been like, it may have been Zach. At one point, it was what's the guy who does Magic Mike? It's been
Channing Tatum.
Yes, it's been Denzel Washington.
He's got an incredible body,
but facially, the face is not sex. Beauty and sex are very different, and I think that's the thing that men don't understand.
No, we understand that.
Okay. Because I hear a lot of men like, oh, this woman is beautiful. This person is beautiful. It's like, no, she's sexy. But she's not beautiful.
She's not a sexy person. Or she's aesthetically beautiful, but she's not a sexy person. I met women who are gorgeous models, and then they open their mouth and you're like, you're awful.
Yeah, and then sex is open to interpretation, right? Like sexiness is open to, like what you find sexy may not be what the next man finds sexy.
I think we had a vote a few years ago, and I am the final word on all.
That's good to know. Thank you so much.
So if you ever want to know if, another fucking, what's his name? Jake Gyllenhaal comes in the picture, hit me up first. I'll give you the lowdown on whether or not.
Okay, definitely. Let me do it. Okay, I'll put it in my phone later. Idris Elba is definitely, it's two things we have to keep in mind. One, it's all politics. When you get something like that, it's just like, I'm not sure if you've ever been to JFL or if you know about the comedy festival, but there's always a variety top 10 list, comedians to watch.
Oh yeah, that's
industry.
It's put together.
It has nothing to do with who are the best
comedians. Who's your
comedians.
PR agent? Who's paying for PR this year?
Yes, that's all that has something to do with. So I'm not taking anything. That was the same in Edinburgh
Fringe Festival. People would go, oh my God, I just got cited in the Daily Telegraph as one of the top 10 to watch at this fest. I'm like, because you paid £5,000 to a fucking PR company who have relationships with the journalists there, so they put you in this year.
There are so many people that Idris Elba is more deserving of who've gotten sexiest man alive. I'm just saying, for you, like you can make that argument. It has nothing to do with diversity. It may have something to do with diversity this year because it's like black people are hot as shit this year. Yeah. Let's choose a black guy this year. Yeah. What black guy we're gonna choose? Okay, let's do Idris Elba. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But there have been black guys in the past. That's lazy.
He's literally one of the top of the list. If you have to go like hottest black actors right now,
it will always be that way. First guy, it will always be that way. Just like when it was Channing Tatum, it wasn't when he was doing Step Up 1. Sure. It was when he became one of the biggest action stars. It's like, okay, this year is Channing Tatum's year. Yeah. This year is whoever's year. This year, that's just what it is.
What you're saying is there's a chance
you fuck Rihanna. And you might.
And I could be it.
You might.
You know what? It's funny, actually. We talked about him earlier on a little bit. And I won't talk about, sort of a mutual friend of ours anyway. A friendly acquaintance, whatever. I know he's not a close friend of mine. But Pete Davidson.
Okay.
After being in a relationship with Ariana Grande, arguably one of the sexiest pop stars in the world at the moment.
Like Ariana or Pete?
Ariana Grande, yeah.
Okay.
After being
it's so hard for me because she just looks like a little baby. So it's like I can't even use Ariana and SEXY
as a reference point.
In the same. I feel like a lesbian pedophile if ever I think of Ariana Grande having sex. Yeah, it blows my mind that people even. It's like, let's put her in a diaper and give her.
But she's like in her 20s, right? She's in her mid-20s or something.
Sure, she looks 12 to me though.
Okay.
She literally looks 12, and I'm sure that everybody else thinks that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's like an ongoing. Like that's what everybody. Ariana Grande. Thank God for the ponytail. It's like they try and give her a ponytail and they try and show us a little bit of cleavage and some booty cheeks. And it's like, whose little sister is out here? I mean, she can sing, but whose baby sis is, But the point you were making.
I was just going to say, Pete Davidson, aesthetically, again, very subjective viewpoint.
Not as attractive as on Ariana.
He's definitely not going to be getting People's Sexiest Man of the Year award. However, after being in a relationship with someone who is that perceived as this sexual, she's very openly vocal about how she's allowed to be. I want to be a sexual woman. If I want to show a little skin and blah blah and be sexual, I'm allowed to do that, and also be a talented artist, and also speak to my audience. Piers Morgan was recently out and again has been just a fucking cunt. One of the worst exports from England we've ever done. But he but anyway, but after that, it's like I now see all the young kids, how they stan someone. Yeah. They love, oh God, I really stan Pete Davidson. Yeah. And now it's like Pete Davidson is now a sexual icon to a huge audience who I'm guessing not just young women, but probably young men as well. Yeah. By association, like where your dick goes, you take a little bit of the we're almost like, it's like an inject, like every time a man puts his penis inside of a beautiful woman, we drain a little bit of your sex appeal and it goes into us. And now
that's why hot women have to be careful who you date. Like it's like you feel like you date down, like but then you don't realize how you up his stock.
It's the dick
like
drain.
The sexiest, the sexiest thing on a man is a beautiful woman. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing sexier on a man than a beautiful woman.
For me, it's my eyes.
But put a beautiful woman with beautiful eyes next to you. She'd outdo your eyes any day.
Please put a beautiful woman with beautiful eyes next to me. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Rihanna.
Rihanna has nice eyes.
Could happen,
She does.
2 degrees of separation. I know people who are friends with Rihanna.
Yeah, you know what,
There's weirder things could have happened.
I hate to go back to Pete Davidson, can I?
Please go back to him. Pete Davidson is the reason why I'm not in the second to last episode of This Week at the Comedy Cellar.
Oh, really? Did he bump you?
They had me in. They had 2 jokes in there, and then they edited it out because Pete Davidson had that fuck up on SNL where he called out that guy running for Senate, I believe, with the eye patch, the war vet. Yeah. And because of that, they were like, "Oh, we got to put something in that." So they cut me in another comics jokes from the thing. So thanks, Pete.
The thing about like thinking
screwing
Pete
Ariana
is hot,
Grande and Jeff Leach.
He's bisexual.
Is he?
No.
I'm going to start that rumor.
Stop it.
You said it, not me. I can't believe you outed him as a bisexual. You do realize that will make him even more successful.
Oh, God. I don't mind that. Like, Pete,
what were you going to say about
soar to the stars. I was just going to say that sort of attraction you grow out of. That fad. It's like when kids.
He's hot right now because of association.
Yeah, because grown people don't think that. Grown people are like, thank God, because I thought that I was going crazy.
I get what you're saying.
But whereas young people,
like an Idris Elba type character, the reason he's attractive is because of a body of work, overcoming various elements of adversity, his abilities, and also
like a 14-year-old girl right now is not looking at Idris Elba as attractive.
Sure,
but every woman 25,
21 though,
about 25 to 90. They voting for Idris Elba.
Sure, yeah.
But 25 to 90 is a much longer lifespan than 14 to 25.
Right. And for an audience as well.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? You grow out of it. It's like when I was a kid, I loved Immature. Do you know the group Immature?
No, was this a boy band?
Yes, I look at Immature now like what?
I want to know what they look like.
What the hell was I thinking?
You were in love with them.
I mean,
stand them. Back then,
like they them and groups like them, they were my idea of attraction. Now I look and I'm like, oh God.
Who's your like top? Let's say like top 3 men. Idris Elba, we know the ghost of Idris Elba. Sorry, you just want this to be some kind of. This is gonna be a fucking Spike Lee Christmas movie. the ghost of Christmas Dick, and it's gonna be like a very black comedy about one girl's Christmas experience, and you're going to be visited by all these different ghosts, and it'll be like the ghost of Channing Tatum, and you'll be like, no, God, and he gives you bad news. And then at the end, the ghost of Idris Elba comes.
I just want him to be able to boo in a British accent, like, boo.
Wow, immature. Wow.
Exactly.
Is one of them wearing a fucking eye patch?
Exactly. You grow out of that. You grow out of that. You're in love
with a fucking R&B sex pirate.
You grow out of that.
I mean, did you ever really grow out of being in love with Immature?
Absolutely. Listen. So soon, though. You grow out of it at about 15. It happens so fast.
You don't feel anything when you look at that phone.
No, I feel vomit in my mouth.
He looks like Nick Cage from the Marvel movies. He looks like He looks like he could play young Samuel Jackson when he first joins the agency.
What's most attractive to me now is a very intelligent man. Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Let's let Jake go.
All
Real
right.
Jake and fake Jake. A really smart guy is like, not a nerdy guy, like a guy that's like confident and he looks like he doesn't know.
Bit of wisdom.
Not just wisdom, but actual seeking like knowledge. I think wisdom comes with experience, and so there's some guys out there that aren't that experienced, but they're always seeking information.
Okay.
And then they not only are they seeking information, but they're always parting information, and not in like a mansplaining type way, just like in a very thought provoking.
See that word
engaging.
In the same way that sassy, you're acting super fucking sassy or aggressive might upset a lady of color.
Yeah,
mansplaining really fucks me off because I think that there's arrogance. There's someone who thinks they're better. It's not mansplaining. That's just an arrogant asshole.
Yeah,
I've got plenty of women who will. I don't go, oh, you're womansplaining to me something when they're going, I think you'll find it's done this way, and actually it would be easier if you. I don't go, oh, you're being a fucking womansplain. You're such a fucking bitch. You womansplaining cunt.
Yeah.
I go like, you're just being an arrogant ass.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. You don't know everything about the world.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
It's just that behavior. Yeah, that
shit,
behavior
right?
is just more common.
Is
in
it?
Men sometimes.
Is it?
With men. So the reason why you
I got
saying
really
is
high
it?
pitch.
Is it? Is because it may not happen to you because you're a man, and so they don't feel the need to talk down to
men.
Yeah.
I've had plenty of men try and talk down to me.
You've had plenty, and I've had plenty multiplied by like 25.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you're probably getting it less. You're experiencing
Or maybe
it.
I'm understanding the situation better because I'm a man.
Maybe. We'll just leave that. Just leave that.
I'm fucking with you. Okay. Tell me what's going on with you in terms of your comedy right now.
I'm looking for new material.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
going
looking
through
for
that
new
process
material.
of writing new stuff. You got to get out there. That's why you got to get back on that dating apps. Go out and do a little bit of that. That's a good source of material.
No, I don't know. That's what everybody talks about. They get on dating apps and talk about how fucking awful it is. And it's like, no.
I'm not saying that. But I don't think you should talk about the process of dating apps. I'm saying by meeting new people constantly. Yeah. I think every comic has to go through this point where they realize, oh, fuck, I've just been working and being very focused on that. And then after 2 or 3 months, you're like, why haven't I written any great new bits or anything that's sticking? It's like, oh, because I haven't been out in the world. I think comics should be forced to have 2 nights off where they go out into the world and talk to people.
So I do that, and not like specifically talk to people, but I rather get a bit from the DMV than get a bit from a dating website.
Sure.
That's just me personally, because I feel
Have you
like
talked about the fact that you never masturbated until the beginning of this year on stage?
I did it on a TV set
Okay.
in Montreal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's like hilarious.
Yeah.
And a very strange,
Yeah.
thing. Did I mention earlier on that's super weird?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Said it a
Just, I
couple of
wanted to make
times.
sure you knew it.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm getting comfortable in the weirdness. It's crazy.
Yeah. And if people want to check out where you're performing, what's going on?
This
Probably
I don't
this
know
soon.
when this comes out. When does this come out?
Soon?
Like in a day or two?
On maybe Sunday.
Okay, no, I was going to say what my schedule for the rest of the week. Okay, so if you want to see me perform, you can follow me on any social media platform. It's Zainab Johnson, Zainab Johnson. My website is also zainabjohnson.com, Zainab
You say
Johnson.
so fast. You're like a woman at the fucking DMV when she's going, write down this number, 678-577-778. Zainab
Yes,
Johnson.
That was so British of you.
I mean, just
the Z part.
They're not going to rewind it.
Just the Z part.
Yeah.
Just the
as soon
Z
as you
part.
search Zainab, it'll come up.
Yeah.
How many other Zainabs in the world are there?
Eliza, very popular because it's a Muslim name. So in the United States.
In comedy and in entertainment?
Oh, in comedy, no.
None,
in comedy
right?
is no.
Yeah.
If you put comedian Z, I might be the first person that comes up.
Nice.
Yeah. So check out my website and my social media, and you'll have so much access to me.
I can't.
Like too much.
We haven't. We've talked about lots of things, but we haven't talked much about your comedy. But I should say to my listeners, like I've performed with you a few times now, and you're very astute. It's not dumb comedy either.
No.
It's very human and it's very empathetic to everyone in the audience. But it's a thinking person's comedy. So you should go and see.
Yeah, if you want to.
You should go and see her live because
Yeah.
you will walk away going, I got some knowledge and some laughter there.
Yeah, I think that my live show is nice. Like, you guys can check me out. They can you Savages.
The Savages.
Right? The Savages. You guys can check me out on Unprotected Sets, which is on Epix right now.
Right.
You can go on YouTube and look at my late night set. It's on Late Night with Seth Meyers. You can look at that. But if you have the chance to catch me live, whether it's for 10 minutes or an hour, it's a nice experience.
I took 3 of my buddies to their first ever comedy show the other day. I took them to a
really?
comedy store to come see me perform. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and they really enjoyed it. And they were like, "Oh, I never really watched." I was like, "Well, this is how you have to see comedy from now on. Don't watch shit on too much on TV."
Yeah, I'm always amazed when people are like, "This is my first comedy show." I'm like I grew up, comedy is, I didn't know I would be a comedian, but I grew up with comedy so early in my life, you know, it's one of my favorite things.
They grew up with masturbating earlier on in their life. So we've all abstained from something strangely for a period of time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Zainab Johnson, thank you very much for coming and joining me.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been really nice to talk. And I wish you continued success.
Thank you so much.
You're a wonderful person. Let me hit this outro song. Savages. Also, Bobby, while I've got you here, do me a favor, make sure to hit like, subscribe. We're on YouTube now with all the episodes. They're all up in video format. Check out previous episodes with the likes of Nick Rutherford, Seth Green. We've got some very, very funny people there. Derek Gaines as well. That was one of my favorite episodes. Also, make sure to like it on Spotify. We're on Spotify now, which couldn't do that for a while because SoundCloud is the hosting and they didn't want to, they're not friends, Spotify and SoundCloud. They've changed that now. So we're on Spotify. Hit that follow button. Make sure you write little reviews. Spread the word. And if you're not a Patreon, head to patreon.com/Savage Snowflake. You can do as little as $1 a month for eight fucking 1 hour, maybe a bit episodes a month. That's pretty good money, right?
That's great, yeah.
How good's that for $1 a month?
That's cheap.
Yeah, I'm literally like...
It's like a going out of business sale, but you're still in business.
Well, let's hope we don't wish that on me. Why do you want to wish Idris Elba death and me to go out of business? I stopped
saying that.
Whatever.
Can I just say one more plug? I forgot.
Yeah.
I have a podcast.
Oh
my God, I'm so sorry.
Okay,
please come visit me. Honest Tea with Z. HONESTEA.
Okay.
With
Honesty
Z.
with Z.
Yeah, it's available
on all good podcasting sites.
Exactly.
Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, all of that business. Make sure you listen to that as well and keep supporting great comedy. Thanks, guys. I love you. Bye.